I love coaching worship teams, but there's one thing that I don't coach, and I don't think you should either, and that's stage presence. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Blueprint Sounds. My name is Nathan Smith. Glad you're joining me. And today we're going to talk about stage presence in worship and why I don't coach it, and I don't think you should either. Before we get going, I have a free gift for you. Go to my website, blueprintsounds.com, and there you'll see a pop-up to sign up for my free guide, 23 Things Every Worship Team and Tech Team Should Hear. It has a lot of great info that will help you and your team. With that being said, let's talk about stage presence. Here's what I mean. Let me give you a couple examples of stage presence that I've seen at different churches that I've played and visited at. Say we're in worship team practice and one of the leaders or the worship leader says, "Hey guys, let's make sure that we're all clapping and that we're all smiling. We want to make sure people know that we're excited that they're here." All right, so we all practice that, or if the leader isn't seeing enough of that, usually with the singers, he or she will ask for more of it. The band sometimes gets off easy because they're stuck behind their instruments, but the singers usually get this a lot. "I need more energy from you guys. Whatever we give out, we're going to get back. So make sure that you're clapping, make sure that you're smiling." Another example is blocking or choreography. Right? For a big event, you might see people during practice working on, all right, so now when it's time for this next song, I want this person to come up front and then we're going to form this V and everybody needs to be turned out to different parts of the audience so that we're getting everybody and then we're going to move in like this. So it's almost like a dance. It's, that's what it's called, is blocking in stagecraft, where people know their points. They go stand here and they stand there. Maybe it's a little bit more involved. But I see that too. The third one I see is canned prayers. So, all right, we've just finished this one song. We're going to move into this next song, and the lead singer has 12 seconds or so while the band is vamping to put in a prayer. Let's say that we're going to sing goodness of God. So let's have a prayer about how, Lord, we pray that you would remind us about the goodness of God. And then, it goes right into the song that has that title. So those are all examples of stage presence, of making production slick. And I don't coach any of that. Why? Here's why. The number one reason I don't coach stage presence is that it makes your singers look like one of two things. They either look like a hostage or a Peloton instructor. So in the first one, have you ever seen a video of somebody reading a hostage message? They've been told by this foreign government to read this, and you can see in their eyes that they are terrified, even as they are saying that we're being treated well, we renounce yada, yada, yada. It's not real. Everybody knows it's not real, and yet they're being forced to read that note. Well, I've seen that in church where I see a group of people, they're all clapping, they're all moving, and it's not real. It's not authentic because they know, everybody can see that that's what they've been told to do. This is the right thing, and so we're going to do it. That's the one side of it. So people who aren't good at stage presence end up looking like hostages. The people who are good at stage presence, who are good at doing what they're told in that way and can bring that energy, end up looking like a Peloton instructor, where they're just a little bit too eager. They've got that thing where the voice is too amped up, they're too high energy, and it's sort of grating, unless that's your thing and you like going to Peloton, which some people do. The point is, it's not real in either sense, and that is what brings me to my second point. The audience can tell. From the time that we are born, we spend a lot of time looking at faces. Babies spend hours and hours just looking at the face of their mother. They can't even see farther than 8 to 12 inches. We're designed by God to see faces as the first thing. And we spend a lot of time doing that. So science has shown that you can actually tell the difference between a fake, forced smile, a canned smile, and an authentic smile where you're really genuinely glad to see someone. Well, what happens when a congregation comes in on Sunday morning and they see forced smiles, and they see other things that they know aren't real, they aren't authentic? Well, it puts them in viewer mode. We're all really good at viewer mode, television and screens and all the rest of it. We can tell the difference between what is theater and what is real life. Congregations are supposed to be participants. We're all supposed to be worshiping God together. And yet, when people have staged responses, when we clap our hands and we smile with that canned smile, it switches off something in people's brains where it says, oh, this is like the theater. This is like the TV. I'm going to watch and not participate. That doesn't mean that some of your congregation won't participate, because there are some people who just love the Lord and nothing is going to stop them, and God bless them. But know that if you coach for stage presence and you demand that type of response, a portion of your audience, a portion of your congregation will flip their brain into viewer mode and not participation mode. And that means, number 3, that you won't get authenticity out of either your worship team or your congregation. And that's really sad. So what do I coach when I'm coaching my bands? There are some things that I coach relentlessly, and let me talk about that. When I'm with my bands and talking to them about the music, I am always moving. I'm telling them about the groove, and okay, we've got to get the bass drum and the kick drum together moving. And then when that happens, I start to move. And when they play through their song, I am usually walking around the auditorium with my mic over my shoulder, dancing and chicken stepping to what they're doing. I do that constantly. The other thing that I do is I am always talking with them about how important it is to have eye contact or listen to one another or tap their feet. I want them to get the rhythm of what they're doing into their bodies so that it comes out. My most important thing is that you gotta feel it, right? And so I not only tell them to feel it, I show them how to feel it. I put it in my shoulders, I put it in my body, I move around all the time for the entire hour and a half that we've got practice, and they see me do it. I'll tell you a quick story about that. So I had a chapel, and as I was tearing down with my band, my drummer says, "Hey Nathan, this was funny. As I was playing the last song, I imagined you doing this, walking around with that little dance that you do." And he said, "It helped." What more could a band instructor want than to know that the behavior he modeled, not that he told his drummer, "Hey, groove harder." I showed the band what I wanted. I showed them the movement, and he did it. Or he had that in his mind's eye as he was playing. That's a lot different than clap your hands and smile. It's about modeled behavior. Imagine you're a parent and you want to teach your child to cross the road and look both ways, right? I have a little daughter. When we do cross the road, we both stop and I look to the left and look to the right and we talk about it. We cross the road. I model that behavior. It's not enough to just say, look both ways before you cross the street when she doesn't even have language for what look both ways means. I do it. I do it to the point where it is ingrained in me, because I learned it from my father, into her. That modeled behavior is what we're after. So what do you do as a worship pastor or as a lead pastor? And you want to see healthy, energetic, vibrant worship on stage. You don't demand it, you model it. The way to get to authenticity is by having a vibrant, healthy culture, not just by coaching for the outward signs, not just saying, hey, we want to look good, but hey, we want to be healthy and we're going to do what it takes to be healthy. And that really starts with leadership, creating a space where people feel like they can give their authentic praise to God, not like they're being judged on how good it looks. That's a big difference. And that's what I want for everybody. Do you agree? Disagree? Leave a comment below. Hey, if you want more information, go to my website, blueprintsounds.com, and there you'll see that pop up for 23 things what every worship team and tech team should hear. It's full of good advice for everybody on your team. Until next time, God bless and bye.